Sugar, look at you.
I tried to spice it up for you a little bit.
Okay, hi. Hello and welcome to another episode of PS Make Me Famous. My guest today is a good friend, Liz Nandee, out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And she is a stylist, residential commercial designer, set designer, done restaurant, like everything design, artisticness, everything. And what I love about your story is that you actually became an entrepreneur quite young.
Yes.
Did you want to kind of say like how you transitioned out of studying design into starting your own company?
Oh geez, that's a long story.
Okay. Sorry.
So from high school, I always more or less knew I wanted to be a designer. So when I was in high school, I was going to night school for design and decorating. And my teacher at the time, she wanted me to work for her because she thought my designs and things that I thought of was so unique and creative that she wanted me to work for her. And I started doing that, and I started venturing out into different things, like window coverings and furniture and things like that. And then one day I just called my mom up and I said, I can't work for anybody anymore. I need to do this on my own. I need to work for myself. I need to be able to express my design the way that I see it and the way that I want to. And I think it was, what was it, 2001, I incorporated my company. So yeah, and then just full steam ahead from there.
So tender age of?
What would I have been? 17, 18?
Oh my gosh.
17? Yeah.
So where do you get your guts, like your gutsiness from? Because that's
I 100% have to say that that all came from my mom. 100%. She always had my back. She was so encouraging about everything and anything I wanted to do, which is so amazing because there was things that I thought of and wanted to do that people thought I was out of my mind. And I had my mom and my uncle, especially, they always believed in me and always thought that I could, whatever I put my mind to, that I was going to do it, and always believed in me.
Wow. So would you say those are your cheerleaders in your life?
Yes, 100%. Till this day, they still think I'm insane and still push me and motivate me. So yes.
That's amazing. Oh, it's so nice when you know who your mentors or your cheerleaders are and you know they have the best interest at heart. That's
yes, absolutely. It's always good to have somebody in your corner, especially people from your family.
Right. So 17, you launch your business. I see that you do business also in Florida as well as Calgary. Okay, so you're kind of binational, like you're international sensation.
International sensation.
Yeah, you are. What was it about design that called to you?
Well, my mom, when she used to work at the bank, and they had a charitable organization. And one of the charities they used to help with was Kids Cell Phone. And they had an event called the Designer Showcase. And she pushed me more or less to help volunteer with the Kids Health Phone. And so I was a student ambassador for them. And at this event, excuse me, I was standing in this room because I had to be like one of the stand-ins for, people touring this house that was, and I'll just give you a little bit of background for Designer Showcase. They had one house, and the entire house had a designer for each room. And I remember standing in this room and saying, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I just was so fascinated by being able to transform a space or something into something completely different. Something that was luxurious, or, that had designs like beyond the familiar. And standing in that room, and I think I was I was probably 15-ish when that happened. And I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. I don't care if it's weird. And no one I knew at the time was doing that. But that's completely where I realized that's what I wanted to do. And that's how I focused. I think when I was younger, a lot younger, I was very interested in law, and I still am at this age. So I always wanted to be a lawyer. So in high school, I used to take all these law classes and just like introduction to law and things like that. And my family always constantly said, you'd be good at that because you talk a lot and you like to argue a lot. So you'd probably be really good at it. So I was very interested at a young age at being a lawyer. And yeah, and then realizing at Designer Showcase that, I'm completely more creative person than and which I guess was a really good decision, because I don't know how I would have made it as a lawyer.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so what is the most memorable moment of your career?
Oh geez.
Sorry, I know there's a billion. Can you just pick one?
Memorable moment. Whew, that's interesting.
That's what happens when you don't get questions in advance.
Wow. I think, to be honest with you, I can't really narrow it down because my jobs are so different and they're so unique, and everything that I try to create for any of my clients, I try to do with passion for how they live and who they are and things that they love and don't love. And going back to, sorry, I keep going back to Designer Showcase, things back then, everybody was cream, white, beige places, right? And Designer Showcase allowed me to express a little bit more unique style. So there was this one space that I ended up getting, which was like actually a dream come true. So going back to Designer Showcase and volunteering there, I actually was asked to be a designer when I finished my degree and things like that. So I actually got to be one of those designers. Which was really great, which was a really great experience. And that continued on for quite a few years as well. But with Designer Showcase, when they kind of flipped around and doing people's houses, they actually wanted to do spaces for different charities. So I think it was either street teams or I can't exactly remember which organization it was for. And I had to do a basement. And I actually ended up turning that into like a tropical island. So the best way that I can describe what this space looked like was, if you take a scene in Scarface, there is this backdrop that has like all these painted palm trees and coconut trees. And I actually created that space. So the whole background was all like a sunset with the tropical trees in the background. And then I actually built a thatched hut in the center of the basement. Yeah, so things like that. Like, that's why it's really hard to narrow down exactly what I like the best. Like, every project is so different and every project is so unique. And I love being able to express things like that.
How do you build a hut?
It was very difficult.
Like,
But it was just like a thatched, so dried palm leaves and things like that. And then we had bamboo as the stands, and then we just built it and then put the furniture inside of it. So it was like you were on a tropical island.
that is wild. Okay, so can we talk about how you transitioned from design, into styling?
I think it was more being in the industry, because I've done set design for quite a few different productions here, and they were just always looking for someone to do both. So when it comes to wardrobe and design, they kind of merge and blend together. So I kind of just fell into it. And the way that I do styling, I'm very, as you can tell, very expressive. And so I think a lot of people like that unique aspect of it.
What's
So
on your hand?
Oh, my rings.
What is that? Is that a new way of wearing a bracelet?
I guess so. It's a hand bracelet.
So #trending. Okay. If you could design any celebrity's home, whose celebrity home would you want to design?
Why are you giving me all these hard questions?
Because I didn't send you questions prior.
Let's see.
It's fun. There's no rush. We have all day.
Um, this is probably going to shock a lot of people, because I'm not even going to say that. Probably Jennifer Lopez, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people actually think her and I are very similar, and we're both Leos. And I feel like we have very similar styles. The way we dress, the way that we interact with people, and I only know this because of, people that I've already worked with. So I feel like that would be very challenging, because we are so similar. It would be very difficult to or understand. Like, designing for yourself is always hard. I'm sure you know that as well. So I feel like that would be a really good challenge.
Ooh, what do you think her like style vibe is?
I feel like she's a little bit, like I said, like myself. Her life is so chaotic and so busy that when she comes home, she does like a lot of bling, like I do as well. But it's very calm and serene, like my house is. Like, I don't have a lot of color in my house. You know this. I love black and white. When I come home from crazy days and crazy productions that I'm working on, I like everything to just be serene. So I feel like she would be like that as well. Ooh. And I actually do know. So one of her houses is like that. So
one of her many houses. One of her many houses. Just give me one house. Give Liz one house to work on, JLo. Don't be so selfish.
I'm not too sure.
And then if people want to check out Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
Basic Black Designs.
Designs with an S, people. Get it right. Get it right. What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Jeez.
Or something that you live by, like a saying that is like your go-to quote.
Well, I'll give you one thing that always sticks in my mind. When I was first starting out, and I was actually working for somebody else at this point, we had gone to introduce ourselves, and of course I show up, very similar to how I am today. And the client had said, if you design the way that you dress, you're going to go far in this industry.
Sorry, my mom just came in and dumped a box of stuff. Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry, what did he say?
This client had walked in and said, if you design the way that you dress, you will always be busy. Wow. And that kind of stuck with me always. I am notorious. My family can attest to this. I do not leave the house without dressing, like being well put together. So I think that's like embedded in my mind every single day. Like, makeup has to be done, hair has to be done, everything needs to merge correctly and properly, just as if I was designing a house or a space or anything like that. Everything is always well put together. And I think by that guy saying that to me at such a young age, I remember that every single day.
Yeah, that's something I live by too. Like, my whole philosophy is play the role to become the part. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Put his best foot forward.
Exactly.
I mean, our style is very different, but this is me done up.
Well, you look gorgeous.
Very nude. I went neutral today. Very neutral. I should have worn black and white for you in honor. But next time. Who was that person who gave you that advice? That's really good.
It was just a client. It was just a random client. It was.
I love the random little it's amazing because people say things, you meet them once and they don't even realize it resonates for
exactly you. For the rest of your life. Exactly.
Who's the most inspirational person you've met?
Wow, I've met so many inspirational people.
Do you want to pick your favorite of the year? I mean, it's been a rough year. Maybe like
my favorite of the year.
The year's just begun. It's me.
Yes, it's you. It's always you.
Forever Gemini for life.
Yes, my little Gemini. Most inspirational person of this year, or just
I've worked with, or somebody who really sticks out as inspirational to you?
I'm gonna say Kamala Harris, and I'll tell you why. Not just because of what she's been through this year. I see myself a lot in her. She's of mixed race, and anybody of mixed race can tell you how difficult it is, no matter what you do, how difficult it is to get a job or to be asked your opinion. And the way that she's done it with so much grace really resonates with me. I am such a huge advocate for women, especially women of color, just because of the things I've had to go through growing up here in Calgary. It's, it's not always easy to get a job, being a woman of color. And she's just so inspirational. And and at the inauguration, or when they won, her speech was just so motivating and so inspirational. And if I had a daughter, I cried when I watched her, and it was just so beautiful to see. And I know a lot of people say this in interviews, like you never see somebody that represents you um, in the limelight like that. And seeing that is such a beautiful thing, especially after the last 4 years that people have had to deal with, and everything that has gone on with race this year. It was such a beautiful thing. And so she is my inspiration this year.
Listen, you may meet her. I'm just saying, you have connections.
You never know, right? You never know.
Well, do you want to tell the audience who you've been on tour with for fun?
For fun.
Well, you did set design, right, for Oprah?
Yes, for Oprah, I did a 7-city tour with Oprah Winfrey. I worked with Kim Kardashian when she came into town. I worked with Ellen, the Generes, for, I think that was 5 cities. And last year, actually, like about a year ago, I actually worked on her Super Bowl event that was in Florida as well. And I worked with Hillary Clinton as well, and the Obamas, both Barack and Michelle. And
so Kamala's next. Kamala's on the hot list. She's just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Nandee, J-Lo, and Kamala. We need you. ASAP. When you have a client like Oprah, how do you kind of translate her persona as a set design for her tour? Because I actually did see her tour.
I actually did a lot of research. I worked very, very hard on that project. When I had bid for that job, as you know, that was a lot of work for me to even try to get that job. And when that came to fruition, that was, I actually did my background work. It wasn't just me showing up in some like glitter trying to get a job. It was, I did a lot of research. I studied her sets for all of her shows or her interviews, what she likes, what she didn't like, what her favorite flowers were, what her favorite colors were. Like I really put the work and the effort into being respectful to who she is. Like I do this with all of my celebrities that I work with. I always want them to be comfortable. They're in a new state, like in a new country. I always want to be very thoughtful of how I design for them.
Mm-hmm. So what are her go-to colors?
She loves purple. She loves pinks and purples. She loves hydrangeas. Yeah, so I every one of my sets, I sneakily did try to incorporate a little bit of Canadian into it as well too. So it was a Canadian designer, or Canadian furniture, or something like that. So that I love representing where I'm from. And so I tried to make sure that everything was either Canadian based or Canadian made, but still incorporating what she loved.
That's so awesome. And what was the most challenging set design?
I don't know if I should say this story.
You could tell me and I could always edit it out.
I guess I could say we were in, and I'll go back to Oprah. We were in Montreal, and everything I did for her set, I always made sure that her wardrobe, whatever she was planning to wear for each city, went well with the background staging and the entire set design. And we were in Montreal, and she decided to change her wardrobe. And we were doing rehearsals, and I remember her saying to me, well, I'm wearing pink today, so Liz, you got to change all of these flowers. So I literally had 2 hours to change, because all of the flowers were all pinks and purples. And I had 2 hours in a city I wasn't from to completely change the entire set design. And I pulled it off. And yeah.
So what color did you go to for the flowers?
Oh, I went with more creams and whites, and so more of the hydrangea based colors for that. So, but yeah, that was great. That actually allowed me to, it pushed myself not to just always think that something is always just going to be that way. And I do that with my clients as well, because there's something that you pick for somebody and it looks good in a catalog or online or something like that, and you get it, and then someone decides they don't want that anymore. So you got to be quick on your feet and be able to manage how to change something on the drop of a dime.
Right. Who was the easiest celebrity you worked with? No such thing? Okay, good. Next question. No?
Yeah, they're celebrities for a reason.
Right.
They know what they like, they know what they want, they know what they want their portrayal to be. So yeah,
they're very aware of what their look is and what they're going for. Do you find most celebrities are quite like brand conscious? Like, well, yeah, I would say yes, but also they know what looks good on them.
Yeah, and trying to do new things is never, everything needs to be approved before that. I remember trying to change something once, and I ended up working out really well. That was working with Michelle Obama in Edmonton, and I ended up going with not a cream chair or a white chair. I ended up going with something gray, which ended up working out phenomenally. But not to say that it could have gone the other way, but yeah, like nobody has ever I don't want to say anybody's been difficult. It's always been very memorable and very good experiences, and has taught me to be a better designer.
That's amazing. Okay, so what would you tell your 15-year-old self today?
Oh, don't listen to anybody.
I love that.
Yes. Don't listen to anybody. Yeah, if I would have listened to, and this is not with what my family had ever said, there was a lot of people that when I wanted to do design were like, you're crazy. Nobody would ever you will never make money doing this. That's just a luxury industry. Yeah, and if I didn't keep on going, I would for sure 100% not be where I am today. So yeah, I would tell my 15-year-old self, don't listen to anybody. Do it. If it scares you, still do it. Try it. You will never evolve and you will never grow if you don't try.
I love that. So don't ask, just do, then adjust.
Exactly.
And I agree. And it's nice that you have your cheerleaders, your mentors who are super close to you, so you know who to go to now. So that's beautiful. So what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur?
Most likely the same thing. Just keep going. If you truly believe in your heart that this is what you love, and you have a message, and you have that we're all put on this earth for a reason. And whatever it is that you believe, whatever your passion is, you got to trust that instinct. Amazing. So if you want to continue on and do something that people think is an absolutely insane idea, like I was told, keep going. If you believe it in your heart, you're going to make it.
I love that. What is the ultimate dream for your occupation, what you're doing right now?
Well, just to keep continuing what I'm doing and learning and evolving as I go. This industry has really taught me so many different things. And I think it's because I have my hands in so many different little pots that I just, everything is design based, and everything I try to keep true to who I am and what I love to portray. So sorry, go back. What was the question?
10 years from now. Oh no, ultimate dream? Oh God, now we're all whatever,
Yeah. This is so us. God, we're silly.
Somewhere, and then no, I think it was the ultimate dream.
Was that what it was?
I have no idea.
Or it was
you know what I think is gonna happen? I'm just throwing it out there. I think you're gonna write a book.
So many people have said that to me, and I don't know about,
No, when
I'm
you're
terrible
retired and
at
you're bored on
writing.
the beach. When you're on the beach and bored, you're gonna be like, oh, I should write a book. Trust, it's gonna
I
happen.
don't think so. The type of personality that I am, I would try to redesign the beach. I will not be writing a book.
You'll have a ghostwriter. You'll just be talking and they'll take notes.
Yeah, I guess so. That could happen.
If you're good.
Yeah, I've had so many great experiences. If I was to ever write a book, it would be something motivational.
Mhm.
You know, not just about my experiences, but continuing on with your dream and doing what you love to do. I always love, even yourself, with so many conversations you and I have had about what should I do, where should I go, what should I do, what should be next, and I love doing that for people. Especially love doing that for women. Women are so adaptable and so creative, and maybe it's motivational speaking instead of writing a book.
Ooh, someone else, but you'll design your own set. No one else will
Yeah.
back that part
Right.
up. What are some designers, interior designers that you admire?
My absolute favorite designer that I follow is Kelly Wersler.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, she is, and she has a master class, and
I watched that. It was so good.
she's amazing. And for a long period of time, I'm going to say about maybe 10 years, I've been following her work and absolutely love her, because she's very, I find, she's very unique in things that the way she does furniture design, the way that she looks at paint and tiles and things like that. I absolutely love how she creates things. And that's what I would love to become one day, just like her.
But it's cool because she's self-taught.
Yes.
And I do love that, if she doesn't see something she likes, she actually created her own line because of that. She
Exactly.
didn't like how things were designed. So maybe
Yeah.
you will be designing well, you do design furniture and stuff. Like you
Yeah.
put things
Yeah.
together already. So you basically, hello. One day.
Maybe I would love to design like my own accessory line one day. You know, there's yeah, I do love that aspect of designing very unique pieces. So yeah, maybe that one day.
Okay, if you were to pick one color other than black and white that you would incorporate into your wear, don't do gold. Don't go gold on me. Black, white, and gold are off the table. What's that one color you're bringing to the table to wear?
Orange.
Really? I wouldn't have thought orange.
Yeah, orange.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, orange has been, actually, that used to be one of my company colors, like years and years ago, was black. It was black and orange.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that fiery, that lion, that fiery color.
Yes, you're Leo in you. Well, Thank you so much for your time today, Lizzie.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. See, the questions weren't that scary, were they?
No, they were great. They were good. They were real thinkers. I love it.
Oh, guys. Okay, me and Liz are laughing, but this is a true story. And I literally thought about it when I was doing my makeup this morning. So I was in dance competition when I was a wee little thing, and we were doing a hard knock life. Like, it's a hard knock life. And before, we know our costume, and then our teachers also tell us like what makeup is. So makeup was very like red lips, eyeliner with the little thingamajig, mascara. That's the look. And then me being, an artist at the tender age of, I don't even know what age. Oh gosh, I must have been about 10. I was like, but it's a hard knock life. Like, we need to look like it's been a hard life. That's when I first discovered bronzer. I'm like, look at this. This actually this can make it look like we've been bruised. Like bruised and like dust and dirt. So I actually did a little sample on one of my friends. She perfect, like the moms that are like very proper and normal. I don't come from that. So like her face was perfect, like white, beautiful foundation. Like she was ready to go. And I was like, let's just try a little. And then this other girl came back. She's like, oh, cool. I'm like, you want me to do yours too? I took control like right before we had to go on stage. So I did about 8 girls' faces. It was a big group.
That's amazing.
Clean.
And what did the parents say?
And then the rest had like bruises and like bronze, just everywhere. My teacher was livid. We were backstage and she's like, whose idea was this? And I didn't think it was a bad thing. I thought it was like brilliant.
Oh my God.
And so I just justified. I'm like, but it's a hard knock life. And she made everyone run backstage and clean up their faces. Let me tell you, I remember being so embarrassed to be called out. But in that moment, it was like I took artistic
control.
At the tender age of 10. That was the first time I'm like, no, guys, it's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life. So
see, that's amazing. So everybody's perception of things is so different. And bronzer is amazing, by the way.
I recommend on all levels. Oh my God, sorry. Okay, now we can say bye for real.
Okay, love you. Thank you.